Hey everybody, happy Wednesday. Mark Causey here from Black Cat Comics in Rockin' Milpitas. Every Wednesday is New Comic Day, and I like to give you some great reasons to get down to your local comic shop and pick up something fun to read. Pretty decent sized week, a lot of cool stuff. Going to start with the DC guys because they got a lot going on this week. This guy, New 52, Future's End. I think that's number 6. The weekly end of the universe kind of thing going on. Their big event book coming out every week, so keep up with that. Super cool stuff there. Brian Azzarello, Jeff Lemire, good stuff. The other weekly, Batman Eternal, number 10. Everybody's been into this. Everybody's been keeping up. Cool Catwoman cover there. We've got all 10 in stock, so if you've been missing out on that, you can catch up. A lot of these bombshell covers like from last week. This is Detective Comics, main Batman book of the week. This is the Detective Comics bombshell cover. Cool Poison Ivy one there. Batgirl, one of the titles we like a lot, been talking about for a long time. Your Batgirl bombshell cover. Very cool. Superman, Wonder Woman continues your Doomed stuff. This stuff's been red hot. All the previous issues have been sold out, so I hope you're keeping up with that. Also has one of the cool bombshell covers. Wonder Woman and Supergirl there. That one's probably my favorite of the week. Green Lantern Corps continues your Uprising stuff. Between this one and Green Lantern, have the others in stock if you've been missing out. Also with the cool bombshell cover. Should mention that if you missed last week's bombshell covers, you're kind of bummed because they're all sold out. Justice League United, your Justice League book of the week. Hawkman with your bombshell Justice League United cover. There's also a Justice League Canada cover for this book, as seems to be the case with all the issues. That's it for your bombshell covers. Here's Birds of Prey, which always has bombshell covers. There's Batgirl versus Harley Quinn right there. You know you're going to have everything Harley Quinn. World's Finest, Huntress and Power Girl, another book we've been talking about from the very beginning. This book's been a lot of fun, so I hope you've been keeping up on that. Superboy is unfortunately headed for cancellation. Cool cover there. Be wrapping that one up real soon. And Smallville wraps up your super stuff for the week. Oh, Batman's on the cover. Continues your season 11 stuff. Infinity Man and the Forever People. Dan Didio, Keith Giffen, Kirby-esque. New 52 first issue. Cool fun stuff there. Great week for the Vertigo guys. This is Astro City from Kurt Busiek, one of my very favorite books of all time. Kurt Busiek is awesome. Astro City is a lot of fun. Sort of dark side of superhero world stuff. Coffin Hill starts a new story arc. And Royals rounds out your Vertigo stuff this week. Big week for the DC guys. Lots of fun from the Marvel guys. You got 3 Original Sin books this week. This is Original Sins number 1. This is your mini-series side book that goes along with the main Original Sin. We've got the other 3 Original Sin issues in stock. If you've been hearing all about it, you've been missing out, you can pick those up. Deadpool with your cool Dazzler cover. And Mighty Avengers number 11 rounds out your Original Sin stuff this week. You can read more about Mighty Avengers 11 in our newsletter this week. Digging this title, you want to go back to number 9, grab 9, 10, and catch up to this week's 11. A lot of Avengers books this week. New Avengers, of course, one of my favorite titles, Steve Epting. I mean, come on, you want to read anything from Steve Epting. Let's see. Secret Avengers might be flying under your radar a little bit, along with Avengers Undercover, this cool Baron Zemo cover. Avengers Undercover has been a lot of fun. Picks up where Arena left off, so don't be missing out on that. Amazing Spider-Man, the biggest relaunch of the year, continues with these fantastic Alex Ross covers. Alex Ross is always worth the cover price. All New X-Men from Brian Michael Bendis. This is another one of my favorites, been running for a little while. Probably my favorite X book right now. And lots of stuff from Wolverine. New issue of Wolverine building up to the death of Wolverine. It's just a couple of months away. Savage Wolverine starts a new story arc this week. You can read more about this in our newsletter. Self-contained title, doesn't tie into any of the other X books, so if you're a Wolverine guy, you can pick that up. Nightcrawler, one of the big launches of the all-new Marvel Now. Number 3 for this week. The reprint of number 1 came out this week if you've been missing out. Hulk, from my man Mark Waid. You know I love Mark Waid. You know I read anything that he does. And She-Hulk, another big seller from all this all-new Marvel Now stuff. Everybody digging She-Hulk. Also previous issues in reprint if you've been missing out. Captain Marvel is a big title from them. Marvel's got a lot of big hits. Deadly Hands of Kung Fu. Shang-Chi. This is issue number 2. We got number 1 in stock if you missed out. Another all-new Marvel Now title you want to be getting up on. Cool week for the Dark Horse guys. Always talking about Mike Mignola, Abe Sapien this week. I'm always talking up BPRD, Lobster Johnson, Hellboy. Like to point out, Abe Sapien outsells darn near any Image book. So if you're an Image guy and you're not following a Mike Mignola book, you probably should be. You're missing out on something cool. And Star Wars Ongoing from Brian Wood. The biggest books Dark Horse has. Everybody getting super excited about the Star Wars movie stuff that's right around the corner. All the big books from Image. Walking Dead. Everybody's super into that. Don't need to say any more about that. Starlight from Mark Miller. You know you like anything from Mark Miller. Real Heroes from Brian Hitch. Another big name over at the Image camp. And Wildfire and Red City are your 2 Gotta Have It Image first issue books of the week. Legendary Steampunk Adventure, my Dynamite book this week because it's got Phantom on it. Phantom is classic and super cool. Armor Hunters, first issue Valiant book. Sort of their crossover event title with Exo Manowar. That's my Valiant book this week along with Bloodshot. Angry Bird Comics number 1. That's my IDW, one of my kids' books this week. Do I really have to tell you what that is? And Scooby-Doo, Where Are You is my kids' book. Don't talk enough about Scooby-Doo or Scooby-Doo Team Up. Can't say enough about how classic this is, and they do a great job with the comic. Lots of good kids' books this week. Lots of great stuff, so check those shipping lists. Get down to your local comic shop, pick up something super awesome. That's all I got for you for this week. Check us out at Facebook. Check us out at blackcatcomics.biz. Check us out on YouTube, or just get on down here to Rockin' Milpitas. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.